reader, Artress Bethany White. Did we meet at Salon? When did we meet? And I was very fortunate to publish Artress in the Hawkins Review, and she read with the magazine at AWP in Tampa several years ago. God, it seems like a long time. So glad you're back for this evening. Artress Bethany White is the recipient of the Trio Award for her poetry collection, My Afmerica, and author of Survivor's Guilt, Essays on Race and American Identity. She is Associate Professor of English at East Stroudsburg University, teaches poetry and nonfiction workshops for the Rosemont College Summer Writers Retreat in Pennsylvania, and is Nonfiction Editor for Boston-based Pangyrus literary magazine. Did I say that right? Very much looking forward to hearing her again after these long pandemic years. Please welcome her, Artress Bethany White.
Well, thank you, David, for that kind bio introduction and also for the invitation to read. I'm going to read two poems from my collection, My Afmerica. And the first poem, I'm going to substitute American for Ukrainian. Abecedarian for peace. Except that I have penned another elegy. Besieged the dead, occupy my brain. Comfort reigns in words on a page, a descant to lift the pain. Etched into memory are names, a flood of Ukrainian blood. Grasping each day like a lifeline, I beg humanity to realign and inspire the gun to empty, just not into another body. Kindred, I say, consider peace. Lofty goals can birth kindness in times of crisis. Meet eyes to pass the love, not the hate that elongates days. Opine carefully and perform lead, not bit parts. Pause before questioning civil rights, and I might not retaliate with a litany to halt a shrug at another lost life. Trudge through history and stumble upon reflection. Pause to name the fallen, validate the battlefield, and let wisdom decry the damage done. Come, explore this zest of the mind with me, a garden holding the day's tally. Yowl a refusal to wall our brethren, and hear the zither play while we mend the broken. The next poem is the opening poem of My Afmerica, and this poem actually led me to what will become my third collection of poetry. So I actually wrote this last before finishing the book. Plantation Wedding. In the middle of my lecture on antebellum plantation life, abolition, Lydia Maria Child, and William Lloyd Garrison, pronged slave collars hung with iron Christmas bells ringing, and Carol Walker's Oeuvre, a recasting of slavery for the next generation, I finally vocalize a question I've suppressed while binge-watching episodes of Say Yes to the Dress, an inquiry prompted by Southern belles, with visions of Scarlet dancing through their heads, modeling some confection like the curtain dress admired by Rhett. Why would any woman stage her 21st century wedding on a plantation, where masters slaked their lust on the shivering bodies of black boys and girls? Out in the fields, blood seeps from cowhided backs, shouldering rough cotton sacks, the ghosts of slaves silent and watching. My European ancestors were from Scotland. So you know how it is when you're doing research for something. You find bits of information in the oddest places. Outlander Blues. After the eponymous television miniseries set in Scotland. I did not stay up to pen a poem while screening Scottish history, slipshod neo-porn with unaccented moans. This series has got me going. 5 episodes a day, no end in sight, just me working to justify lost hours of my life. I'm not kidding myself, nor do I believe these kilted men are kin to me. They drink whiskey at every turn, betwixt and between wars, gory knife assaults, and corded whip scars. When Jamie says "clam," it gurgles like a curse way back in his throat, as if he might end up with spittle spraying from his mouth. Then there's the ubiquitous red hair, daughter Brianna, more persimmon than her pumpkin spice progenitor. I hate these characters, my brain rails, yet I've grown used to seeing Jamie's tight arse and Claire's 34 Bs, and the way they lunge at each other as if they've never kissed before at the end of every other scene. Still, if I hear one more uttered "bairn" or "kin to ya," I don't know what I might do, and no one, not one of them, bathes enough for me. So this last poem is about my visit to the plantation where the planter lived, who owned members of my family. Dear ancestors, on the occasion of visiting the plantation which once governed your lives, North Carolina, summer 2021. 4 generations past calling anyone master, and this word alone would make you spin in a grave. Enraged gyre at the promise threatened but not broken, to never see your children's children bound and beholden to any man or soil once calling them slave. Free, I see more than you thought would endure, amid Piedmont pines and plantation shrines. Driving to Coolini on Peter Harriston Road, a new gated walk to bar my way, I realize more than one tourist gathers here today when a family thrusts a 10-year-old child my way. My forebears once worked this land, I say. They call it luck and serendipity and rush to arrange a photo op, including me. I become the project on the Civil War, a book holding the names of my family as property gripped in a 10-year-old's freckled arm. I wonder how the school report will go after a panicked look when I utter, I was a blood relative of the planter, you know. Not just chattel abiding in slave quarters, gathered around its stately manor. I am glad to leave behind the house and the touristy tangle of cotton vine at the end of the rutted mile-long drive, the bump of roadkill beneath my wheels. I pass a flagpole 3 banners deep, American, Confederate, and Trump, emblazoned on blue, declare what you already knew. Healing this generation's troubles is long overdue. Oh, America, you are such a dreamer. I am related to a 19th century man who took a black wife and whose descendants would go on to be enslaved for life. To have and to hold till narratives do us part, fragments forever refusing alignment, beginning, ending.